Right, welcome. It's been a little while since I did a video. That's because I have a new 3D printer that's been occupying the floor of my office and is completely in the way of the desk. I can't move. So I finally moved that out and can do a few more videos. So one of the first one I wanted to do was just a follow-up to the fast missions I was doing a long time ago. They got stalled by a crashed copter. Well, here it is rebuilt, and what I'm doing is assessing the performance of GPSs at high speed. And so what I want to do is compare GPSs, and you can see here I've got two GPSs mounted. I've got the Matek M10Q mounted on the back, and then a Holybro Micro M10. Now I'll do I'll do some videos about what I found with these, but I just sort of wanted to show you the setup. And to test that setup, what I wanted to do was check on the performance at high G of the GPSs. So what tends to happen is that GPSs are only, their sort of kinematic model only works up to 4G. And so what you want to try and do is get over 4G. So that's what I did, and the easiest way to do that is by setting up a mission. So I'll bring up the mission that I did. Okay, so you can see the log here and you see the mission I ran. So I took off from the starting point here, and then it's a box mission, and I'll show you some of the parameters afterwards. But just to show, it's quite fast. So I've got, if we pull up the throttle here, you can see that the throttle, get to full throttle burn on this, all in auto, which is very cool. So what I'll do is put that away and let you see the mission itself, from both from the camera and from the FPV camera. So let me pull that up. Okay, here we go. Arming. Switching to auto. Off we go. Pretty close to the takeoff point.
Sorry, I'm shooting straight into the sun here.
I mean, after all that, it's only a metre, 2 metres off, isn't it? Amazing, really. How insane was that? That was very, very, very cool. It was very cool to be there. So I did a few of those, but the nice thing was, and you could hear me say that, it came down pretty close to the starting point. And always with these sort of missions, you're looking for the difference between the desired and the actual track. And you can see that on the map view here, the desired and actual was relatively close. So if I drill into, let's get rid of the map, drill into the legs a bit more. So there's throttle out. So let's have a look at, first of all, the acceleration. So if I look at the IMU, and of course the copter is mostly at this sort of angle, so most of the acceleration is going to be in the z-axis, apart from at the corners when it swivels around. So we look at the acceleration on the z-axis. So this is acceleration on the z-axis, and you can see that certainly on these corners we are getting to Let's see what the points, what the point values are. So that is 5.3 G, that's 5.4 G, 5.1 G. So pretty high acceleration, certainly over the 4G that I was looking to get. And you can see that X and Y are not as high. Probably if you combine the two of these, you get slightly higher than 5.5, but still pretty high anyway. And the other thing to have a look at is what is the speed we get to. Now this is a little bit harder to look at. So if we look at the PSC east and north, so that's position, here we go, velocity. So we've got desired velocity east, and you can see here we've got desired velocity east of 40 meters a second, which is actually what I had it set to. So you'll see from my settings 40 meters a second. And the actual velocity east was, okay, you got to 40 meters a second here, slightly less than that here, but still pretty good, pretty good. And if we look at the same thing for north, see again, trying to get to 40 north, and if we look at north, didn't quite make it here, made the 30 that we were asking here, so pretty high speeds. It's a shame it didn't show up in the FPV view. Okay, so if I switch to the parameters just to show you what I did to generate this. Okay, so here are the mission planner parameters, sorry, the parameters from that log, and most of these are in WPNav. And so you can see I've got acceleration set to 6G. Oh, that's probably why it you know, maybe that's why I hit 5.5. And then in the corner, 8G, so that's what this Excel C is. Corner is 8G. Z is just going up and down. And then I've got WPNav speed set to 40 meters a second, which is, as you saw, was close to what I got. And then the other key thing is the jerk setting here. So I've got jerk set to 120 meters per second, per second, per second. So this, I've set this to double my acceleration and 3 times my speed. But this will be, jerk will be the thing that limits the speed. The other thing to say is that I've got my waypoint which I can't remember the name of, waypoint radius. Where is that? Oh, sorry, it was staring me there in the face. It's got WPNav radius, which is the waypoint radius. So the default for this is 2 meters, which is quite tight. And the problem is if you have it too tight, then the thing has to come right up to the waypoint before it can go on to the next waypoint. So what I did was I set it to 10 meters. And this means that the thing can come round in a nice smooth curve through the waypoint as soon as it hits 10 meters out from the waypoint, which is quite far, and it allows to make these much smoother curves. So that's it really. I mean, it's quite a short video because it didn't take very long to run that mission. But yeah, very exciting, and there's been quite a lot of work I and others have done to get this far because I've had, you know, as you saw with my fast missions earlier, and I'll add this probably to the fast mission series, I had a flyaway early on because the position went completely out. And with this one, I was lucky to have a much better GPS. The Holy Bro GPS in particular is really great and maintains position well. And then Paul Risborough did some fixes that allows the EKF to keep trying even when the innovations are quite high. In fact, we could probably just look at those briefly. Let's have a look at the EKF innovations. Hang on. Okay, here we're back on the graph. If I just show you the throttle just so you can see where we are. there. And then if we look at XKF4, and you see we've got velocity variance, position variance, height variance on first core, and then on the second core we got velocity variance, position variance, height variance. I don't know what, I think this is just when I pick the thing up, but you can see here that, get rid of the throttle, zero in a little bit on these. You can see that the first EKF had quite high velocity variance, didn't quite get above 1, which is where things really start going crazy. Much higher than the second one, and the second one is on this, I believe, on this better GPS. So the EKF coped really pretty well, even with those high accelerations. So yeah, very good, very cool job. And I am doing some more testing like this, just to compare different GPSs and see how they fare at these very high speeds. So yeah, exciting stuff. Thanks for watching.